Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now today I'm going to be talking about building your online brand. Now whether you are a freelancer, you are an entrepreneur, you could be anyone. If you want to be able to influence people, you have to take advantage of your online branding. Now in this day and age, whether you like it or not, you already have a branding. If you post a lot about your cats and your dogs or your pets, you are known as that pet lady, as this cat lady, as this dog lady. If you post a lot about cooking, about baking, you are that person to these people's eyes, and you have to take advantage of that narrative. You have to be more intentional about it. Now, if you are someone who wants to work from home, and if you want to be someone who can be found, if you're applying for jobs, if you're looking for people to work with, having your online brand already built up before you even start is so important, because then it's easier for you to find other jobs or to find partners to work with. Also, I want to make sure that you guys watch till the end of the video, because I'm going to give a secret tip about branding that no one ever really talks about, and I've studied this a lot. Now this is actually the fourth video in the work from home series, and if you guys want to check that out, you can click right here and I'll put in the links to all of the last three videos that I've done. And if you haven't already, click subscribe button right there so you can get more career tips and work from home tips from the virtual ate. Now going right into it, the first tip is to change your perspective. Change your mindset, or change the way that you see social media and the social world itself. So we have to change and realize that whatever you put out there, people will receive. That's the only way that people will know you online is what persona you put out into it. So for example, for me, when I was starting out, I was about 13, 14 when I was really starting to get more and more clients on writing. At high school, I was known as a person who likes to write. I was in our journalism club. I was someone who shared her short stories in class a lot. I was someone who was writing poems. I was someone who already also had a blog before. And my blog was Imperfect is Beautiful, which is, as she said, it sounds, that was also my branding. And I took advantage of that, of like, oh, I'm a writer, you know, these are my works before. You can ask these people what I've done before. That was the branding that I was putting out there, even before there was such a thing as branding, at least your own personal branding at that time. So you really have to change the way that you think when it comes to your social media, when it comes to things that you post. Because again, everything that you post is part of your branding now. If you've used to post a lot of really negative stuff and you want to change, you can, but you have to make that shift and be consistent enough to be known as a person who changed the way that they thought. Keep that in mind as we go through this whole process of how to brand yourself online, that you really have to first change the way that you look at social media, that you look at the online platforms that are out there. If you want to be taken seriously, you have to take those seriously as well. Now, number two is you need to define what you want to do and who you want to serve. I already did a video on this, on how to find your niche and your skill when you're trying to work from home or you're working online. But to make it short and simple, you have to know already what is something that you're ready to give to the world and who are you serving. So what I mean with that is, for example, again, going back to my example of me, when I was starting out with writing, that was the skill that I was putting out into the world. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to be paid for. So that's what I kept doing. And then who I wanted to serve at that time, funny enough, I got into the relationship niche. That was kind of the weird niche that I kind of stumbled into, because I was writing a lot about long distance relationships, because I was just watching my parents. I was writing articles about how love felt like as a teenager, because that was the only perspective that I had, and basically why love felt very fleeting and fast, and why a lot of kids would start getting boyfriends and girlfriends at a young age. That's what I was able to write about, because that's what I knew at that time, because again, I was like 13, 14, 15, something in that range that I started writing. So that's where I accidentally kind of stumbled into. So then I started targeting those people. When I posted stuff about love, when I posted short stories about love, or people falling in love, then people knew, like, oh, yeah, Leanne, she's someone who's probably good for this. That's how I got more and more clients, because the more I posted and the more I put out there that I was a writer, also specifically for relationship stuff, that's how I got more and more queries. That's how I started getting clients when I was working online. Now, once you are clear on what the skill is that you want to focus on and who you want to serve, everything else afterwards is so much easier. Now, once you have those two, you have to choose your content type. Now, so much easier to do that, again, if you know what is the skill that you want to focus on when you're working online. There's currently about 4 different types of content out there when you want to brand yourself, and that is text, That's image, that's video, and then audio. Audio is a little bit new because there's not a lot of platforms that really promote this other than Facebook. But I know because I know Facebook does audio broadcasts. I'm not sure if the other platforms have actually done and focused that yet. It's mostly just going to be the text, video, and then the photos type, what I've seen. But audio is climbing up with podcasts and being able to just record yourself talking and like people really wanting to listen. So that's also a rising platform that you can utilize. Now, when you're trying to choose your mode of content, it really helps when you already have the skill narrowed down because that's where you want to show your expertise. So for example, for me, it was so easy. Writing, text format, yay. That was easy for me to narrow down what kind of content I want to put out, and that was text. So I started with putting those Facebook notes. I started putting on LinkedIn articles because a lot of people think that branding is usually just about having the perfect logo, having the brand colors, having the perfect message, but it's actually all about being able to just put yourself out there first before any of that. Because no one, if you put in the perfect logo, the perfect everything on your branding, but no one actually knows who you are and what you do, then it's actually basically just nothing. So when choosing your content type, it actually, again, it goes down to what your chosen skill is. What is the thing that you want to do or how you want to serve people? So if you're someone who is more graphic inclined, you want to be a graphic artist, you want to create videos, then of course you focus on those mediums. You want to be able to show people that you can do what you say that you are able to do. So if you want to be someone who's known for branding type videos, if you want to be someone who's known for travel videos, or if you want to be someone who is known for interior design, for example, you can write out or plot out your whole process and take videos of that. Take behind the scenes pictures, take videos, and then put it up on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, and LinkedIn, because video is everywhere. You can put it up there because then you are showing that, again, you can do what you say you can do. Now, if you are someone who's more technical, like you're a programmer, you're a project manager, then being able to do behind the scenes photos and videos of yourself doing your whole process makes it more reliable that, again, you are someone who can do what they say they can do. That is the whole point of your branding, is to show people that you are credible, that you are an authority on this subject, that you are someone that they can trust to hire on this. Now, once you have your content type, number 4 is being able to set up your profile. So when it comes to setting a profile, I've actually done a video already on that, on how to be found on Google and setting up your profiles to reflect that. But to make it really short and simple, setting up your profiles is basically picking which place to mostly be active on. So again, it goes back, that's why I put it first, is picking up your skill you want to be an expert at, picking the content type, and then now picking which platform to focus on. So for example, for me, I have actually narrowed down to that I'm just going to be posting the full videos of how to work from home on YouTube. It used to be on Facebook, I sometimes post on Instagram, but now I'm focusing all of it into YouTube, mostly because I now know that if people wanted to learn how to work from home, they're going to search it on YouTube or on Google. So those are the two places that I've seen, and I don't think anyone really uses Facebook to search for how-to videos. Some, yes, like crafts maybe, or cooking videos, but I haven't really seen Facebook being used as a search engine. And if you're trying to work from home, you're not going to be searching on Facebook and scrolling and looking at how people live their lives. You're usually going to go on Google or on YouTube. So I've narrowed down because I know who I want to serve. I know what I wanted to do, which is coaching people how to work from home. And who I'm serving is a Filipino who is wanting to work from home so they have the freedom to work anywhere also. So that's who I want to be known for and who I serve. So that's for me. That's why I focus on YouTube. And then of course I share everything on my Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, because all of the content so far that I've been able to create comes from one YouTube video and then I disseminate to other profiles. Again, that's for me. That's what has worked for me. So find the platform that works for you the best on what you want to be in. Again, what you want to be an expert with and who you want to work with or you want to work for, because you have to keep in mind, if your client, if your ideal client is on LinkedIn, you shouldn't be focusing on Instagram no matter how much you love Instagram. You should be working on the platform that they also work with the most. So if you are someone who wants to get clients off of LinkedIn, then you should focus on LinkedIn and not posting on Instagram, because rarely it is that people find you on Instagram and then try to find you on LinkedIn. You have to focus on the place that you want people to find you in. Now again, make sure to check out this video on how to set yourself up so you can be more searchable on Google for your brand, to make sure that you are someone that is credible when they do find you. Now, number 5 is to make sure that you update frequently. Now, what I mean with update frequently is show them that you are consistent about putting yourself out there. Now, an example of this is creating content calendar. That's one thing that I've heard a lot of people do. That's what I've done sometimes in different times of my life when I need to be more organized. But for me, generally, for example, I post on YouTube every Sunday. That's my schedule. I post on Instagram every 3 days, and I post on Facebook almost every other day, almost every day, because that's where I'm most active, because that's where most of the people that I want to work with are, because most Filipinos are on Facebook. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to focus on here because this is where my target audience is at. I have tried to make this regular, irregular schedule of posting on there as often as I can. But most of my content will be coming into bringing people into YouTube to watch my videos and to watch more and more of my videos. So that's for me, that's how I update regularly, because then it shows credibility, again, showing credibility, showing authority, showing that you are someone who's actively doing this. Because let's say on the writing articles part, I haven't written really articles in such a long time. That hasn't been my focus in a while. So if someone looks up my profile and thinking that they could hire me as a writer, they see, oh, she's doing something different. Maybe, she might not be a fit. That's also filtering people out. So you don't get clients that you actually don't want. So that's something that you have to keep in mind when you're branding, is you're not only bringing people to you, but you're also filtering people out. Now, number 6 is now engagement. So it's making sure that you reply to comments, especially if those comments have questions, because then you can show your expertise. It's going to be commenting on other people's posts, on other people's YouTube videos, on commenting on people's Facebook posts, even if they need help. If someone on a Facebook group posts a question on something that you are an expert in, comment on that, help them on that. PM them, send them a personal message, so you can show that yes, you are an authority in this niche. You are someone who knows what they're doing and has served other people in this area. So you want to be able to be engaging on the different platforms, especially if you have narrowed down which platform you want to be going for, because then that shows the Instagram people, the Facebook people, not really people, they're AI, that you are someone who's using their platform and not just throwing out content out there for anyone to consume. You're someone who is engaging, you're someone who's actually active, who's using the platform for what it's for, which is socializing. So being able to be active based on, again, different Facebook groups, Facebook pages, even sometimes if there's someone who has made it big on Facebook or YouTube, and then one of their fans asks a question and you're able to answer and help them out with their question, that builds more credibility, that builds more authority, that builds your online brand. Now, the 7th thing, and actually this is something that a lot of people think about when they're building their online brand, is testimonials. Now, when I say testimonials, these are basically reviews or feedback from different people, recommendations from people on how they've worked with you and how you've worked with them. Now, LinkedIn has this amazing feature of recommendations, of people being able to leave reviews or recommendations. So when clients look you up, when other potential business partners look you up, they can see like, oh, they've worked with so-and-so, and so-and-so said this about them, so I can trust them on this. This is something that is their strength. This is something that they said was the weakness. So people can already see by social proof, by being able to see that other people have worked with you, they want to work with you also. So when it comes to testimonials or reviews, it doesn't have to be that you have to really ask them for a video testimonial. It can be just a written one. Again, it could be just on LinkedIn. It could be just something that you save as a message that they sent you, and then that's something that you put on your LinkedIn, you put on your Facebook, you put on your sales page if you have a sales page or website for your services. That's something that you save and make sure that you have a file on. So if future clients, if people who you want to work with or you want to work with you ask for, hey, do you have any recommendations from different people? You said, oh yes, I have this whole folder, Google Drive folder of all of the people who have left me reviews before or have told me that they love me. Because then again, that shows them that you have credibility, you have authority, and you are liked. That's another thing. You're someone that people actually liked working with. You weren't a pain in the butt. You were someone who was a stressor for them. You actually helped them solve a problem. So if you have a couple of people right now that you've worked with, even if there were people that you were giving them services for free, ask them for a testimonial, ask them for a review. It doesn't have to be video can be just the text that they send you and you screenshot that and then you show that to other people, because that builds your credibility so much when you show people that you've helped other people, whether that was paid or that was free. Again, building your brand online is essential if you want to work from home, if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be someone who can influence other people. So following these steps that I just outlined for you is so important and will help you so much in becoming easily trusted. And again, you will become credible and authority in the niche or in the skill that you want to be an expert in. Now, once you have your branding, in the next video, I'm going to talk about how to apply for jobs online. So how to look for jobs, how to actually go out and send your application in, what your resume should look like. So I'm actually going to walk you guys through. I'm going to take you guys onto my computer and show you guys how I would apply if I was looking for a job. Because once you have your niche and your skills, once you have your tools, and once you have your branding, it's so much easier for you to start applying because you're a little bit more confident and you're clearer. You have the clarity of who you are and who you want to serve, and that will make being able to work from home or able to work anywhere much easier process than just someone who just went online and just find jobs and then got rejected too many times and then went back to the old boring work anyway. So that's the power of going through this whole process that I've laid out for you guys, because I do walk you guys step by step that if I were to try looking for, if I was again, if I've lost my job all of a sudden for some reason, the same steps that I've laid out for you guys, from finding a niche, from having the right tools, from doing this branding, will be the things that I will be doing myself. Again, if you guys have any questions, make sure to comment them below and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. And I post every Sunday, so please hit that subscribe button right there if you want career tips and how to work from home tips from the virtual ate. Now, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and remember that small steps matters. I'll see you in the next video.